Only Mohamed Salah can answer why he turned a gentle question from a former Liverpool player about his overall contribution into a snide review of Sergio Aguero's season and non-existent critics. "I don't care too much," he told Jamie Carragher on Sky Sports when asked about the winner against Tottenham. "I didn't score for a couple of games, but there are some players who have the same number of goals as me and they say they're having the best season of their life. There are 3 or 4 players nobody talks about, but I'm the only one having a bad season. Aguero has just 2 goals more than me and they say this is one of the best seasons for him so far. Assuming he was being genuine rather than just on the wind-up or playing mind games, Salah is entitled to feel like there are double standards at play, but everyone else is entitled to point out that his opinion does not hold up to facts or context. Within minutes of the quotes being tweeted out, statistics were fired back to point out the significant difference between the two this season. In a team that has scored 9 more goals, 30-year-old Aguero has 2 more goals, 19, than 26-year-old Salah in 839 fewer minutes, one half shy of playing 10 fewer games. There are 2 feasible reasons why you could argue there has been more fanfare or recognition for the City players' goals. The first is longevity. Aguero is 1 away from hitting 20 Premier League goals for the 5th consecutive season, and as Liverpool have shown City this season in the title race, it is always harder to repeat achievements in football because opponents raise their standards and are more used to what you are capable of, forcing you to match or exceed their improvement if you continue to thrive. That the 30-year-old has risen to another challenge deserves praise, and the fact that he has set more club records this season with his goals and moved closer to the top 5 of the all-time scorers in the league, 2 more will take him above Robbie Fowler into 6th place on 164, enhances his reputation. The second relates to narrative. Aguero may have scored more goals than anyone else against newly promoted teams since he arrived in Manchester, but the Argentine has also turned up in big games. When City were desperate for any way of getting back into the title race in 2019, his blast past Alisson set the tone for a storming 2019 that has also seen hat-tricks against Arsenal and Chelsea. If he is getting better, Salah has just 1 goal from 9 appearances, 773 minutes, against top 6 opposition in the league this season, and that was a penalty to make it 4-0 in the 5-1 demolition of Arsenal, and no goals in either derby either. Last season he managed 7 in 10, as well as 1 in 1 against Everton. Video loading video unavailable. Click to play. Tap to play. The video will start in 8. Cancel play now. It is, of course, not simply down to goals, but again the Liverpool man is victim of his own previous highs. He has the same number of assists as Aguero this year, 7, but is 3 off the 10 he managed last year, whereas Aguero already has more than he has managed before under Pep Guardiola, and needs just 2 more to achieve his best ever. Those numbers alone make it very easy to say that Aguero is enjoying one of his best ever seasons, and that is without pointing out his improvement off the ball under the manager that has marginalized Gabriel Jesus. Salah, meanwhile, was always going to face an impossible task to match his historically prolific effort last season. But if he has rightly been questioned for no goals in his last 8 games and just 1 in his last 11 at a time when every 90 minutes is increasingly important to Liverpool's hopes of trophies, has anyone sensible? That isn't just an opposition fan trolling, actually said he is having a bad season. There have been criticisms of individual performances or a run of games, but there is no evidence of Salah's season being written or talked about in the way he claimed. It would have been cringeworthy if an Mo Salah you little dancer had sniped about Aguero's season, but for the player himself to talk about another professional in that way was utterly unnecessary. And by bringing it up, with his influence, the Egyptian risks spreading such nonsense among his many followers and extending a train of thought that wasn't worth a second of anyone's time to begin with. In a title race that has been full of quality on the pitch, it would be nice if there was a little more class from certain players off it.